Hi, Irene here. I have a tip video today for you on how I cut my page protectors to allow for my flip-flaps. This layout has two flip-flaps, this one here and that one there. And it is really a very simple process, though the first couple of times it is a little intimidating. But once you get it down, it is super quick. So we will be doing both of these today. So your first step in cutting your flip-flaps is to make sure you want to insert your page into your page protector and make sure that it is inserted all the way down. Because if you don't have it all the way down and you cut your flip-flap and you put your page in, your layout in, if it needs to go down lower, it won't fold. You're going to have to recut your page or recut another page protector. You will need a couple of tools. First off, you will need some type of marker. This is just a zig marker. We're going to use it to mark where we're going to be doing our cuts. You're going to need some type of craft knife. I ordered these on Amazon. They come in a 3-pack. I'll list those below. You will need a ruler, and I recommend a metal ruler or a metal edge ruler so you don't cut into the plastic. You will need some tool to make a hole, excuse me, and the smallest hole you can have. And then lastly, you want to have a self-healing mat or a piece of chipboard. So let me show you how I cut my slots for my flip-flap. We're going to start off, we're going to be marking our where our flip-flaps are. We want to mark the top right and left corners right at the point, just with a little mark of your marker. And I like to use a marker that I can wipe off, so not a permanent marker, but you can use that too. You will be punching out a hole, but you might still see it on the line. So this is why I like a marker I can wipe off. So once we have that marked, I want to remove my layout. I'm going to turn this sideways, take out my layout, and I am going to insert my mat. I'm also going to insert, because my mat is black, it is hard to see, a piece of white cardstock so I can see where my holes are going to be. So you can see I have a hole or a mark here and a mark there. I have this mark here, and there is one more right over here. So we're going to take our ruler and we're going to connect those two dots. Essentially, you want to go, if you can, like right through the middle of the dot. So we're going to draw a line, and then we are going to scoot that over just a bit, take our hole punch, and we're going to line it up on that mark we made on the corner of each photo. So we're going to line that up as best you can, and then you want to cut out your hole. So we're going to cut out all of them at once. So we're done with that step. So let's slide this over. So you can see those holes were cut. And I apologize. Oh, I forgot to draw my line here on this one. So let's draw this line really quick as well. Connecting those two dots. There we go. And let's punch out those two holes. All right. We've got our holes punched. You can see. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to actually keep it lined up as best I can, because I want to take my ruler now and we're going to take our craft knife. I'm going to turn this sideways a little bit just so that I can see it a little better. And you want to line it up right on that line. You want to try to cut those circles that you made right down the center. And the reason why we have cut those holes with the hole punch is because it stops your cut, your line you're cutting right now, from running. So it won't tear any further. So we got one done. You can see that one there. And let's cut the other one real quick. Let me just readjust my mat. going to line that one up. And you just want to take your time cutting this out. Don't go too quickly. Otherwise, you're going to run off course and then you're going to start all over. I do recommend that if you have some old page protectors, those would be great to practice on before you do your final cut. And that way, if you make a mistake, it's not that big of a deal. So we've got, didn't cut quite all the way through. We have our page protector cut. And then I'm just going to take a stamp chamois and I'm just going to wipe off that line. As you can see, I actually ran off course just a little bit there. I don't think you're going to see that. All right. Let's pull this out. And any additional ink, let's get that wiped off. I didn't get that all off there. It does smudge through to the other side, so just need to wipe it off. Let me bring my layout back in. And then you're just going to feed your flip flaps through as you insert your layout. So you just want to go a little slow and just carefully slide it in. Got the wrong picture. So let's get the first one. Here we go. We're going to slide this one in through our slot. And then let's get the second one in. It does take a little finagling once you have more than one. There we go. I'm just going to slide this one in. There we go. There we go. Got them both in now. There we go. And that is how I cut the slits for my page protectors. Let me bring in the other side. That one does also have a flip flap on it. So excuse any glare from the page protectors, but I have another one here that is, again, mounted to my paper, to my layout, and then just sliced through. Like I said, if you have old page protectors, practice on those a couple of times, but it is pretty simple, just a little intimidating. But once you get it down, it's super simple. Hope this tip helps you out in your scrapbooking, and I hope to see you again very soon. Have a good day. Bye.